The spider merely waved its forelegs, and the useless threads turned into exquisite handkerchiefs. It could even leave behind its own unique mark. Since Hiraku adopted 2 wolves, he noticed more strange things happening, especially 3 days ago. Hiraku discovered that one of the dogs had grown horns on its forehead and had become unusually intelligent. It all seemed to stem from Hiraku's complaint that the rabbit fur he hunted smelled terrible and couldn't be used for winter clothes. The next day, Little Black came back with a strange spider. Not only did the spider weave winter clothes, but it also became the farm's alarm system. As soon as it detected a monster invasion, it immediately sounded the alarm. The arrival of the spider and the various items it provided helped Hiraku survive his first winter. But when spring came, several wolves lined up and entered the forest. Hiraku thought they were bidding farewell, but a few days later, the dogs returned with their mates. Hiraku was surprised, but even more so when he realized that the spider, despite having no mate, could give birth to offspring on its own. On the same day, Hiraku saved a woman named Lucy. She told Hiraku that this was the dreaded Death Forest, and even the pets here were powerful magical beasts. However, despite Lucy's serious explanation, Hiraku couldn't fully understand. Homeless, Lucy was taken in by Hiraku. A few days later, while Hiraku continued working on the farm, Lucy came to help. However, Hiraku noticed that she had shrunk her size to conserve energy. At the same time, the spider sounded the alarm again, and this time, it was Taya. Upon hearing Taya's plea for help, Hiraku untied her restraints and tended to her injuries. To his surprise, Taya allowed her wounds to heal on their own, and even her clothes could instantly recover. Taya had come to chase Lucy, but this led to the wolves teaching her a lesson. Lucy and Taya had a complicated relationship, and Lucy invited Taya to stay. Hiraku didn't object, but it was clear that Taya wasn't ready. Lucy suggested that Taya help with farming, as Hiraku's farm was too large for just the 2 women to handle. Reluctantly, Taya accepted the challenge. After an afternoon of work, the crops were harvested. It was Taya's first time tasting strawberries, and Hiraku provided them with a self-sufficient life. With their help, Hiraku no longer had to do everything himself. But as the wolf pups continued to be born, Hiraku decided to build a kennel next to the orchard. They were happy to move in, and the spider's offspring didn't need Hiraku's care. However, new problems arose. Taya said she was leaving. Hiraku thought she was going away, but Lucy reassured him not to worry. Just 2.5 days later, Taya returned with unexpected news. It turned out that the elves used to live in the north, but their homeland was destroyed in a war 200 years ago, and now they were wandering, homeless, and seeking Hiraku's adoption. Hiraku didn't refuse. Lucy led him to meet the elves and introduced their architectural skills. The elves were not only capable but also skilled in construction. Hiraku was astonished. 10 days later, the elves successfully built a new house, fully furnished. Hiraku was glad to see everyone happy and content. To thank Hiraku, the elves took on the blacksmithing work. Hiraku was shocked at how many skills they had learned, including baking. He finally got to eat the long-missed freshly baked bread and decided to plant more wheat.